Grand Rising, everybody. I hope everyone is doing great today. I wanted to do a quick video to let you guys know why I decided to homeschool my children. I have an 8-year-old daughter who's in the 3rd grade, and I have a 6-year-old son who is in the 1st grade. I had been planning on doing this video for a very long time, and for whatever reason, it just never happened. I don't know, but so I'm gonna do that today and talk to you guys about my reasoning behind wanting to and actually homeschooling my children. So it started when my daughter was about to get ready and enter kindergarten at the local public school in the area, and I was just not ready for my baby to leave the nest. I was anxious. I just did not want her to go. So I talked to my husband, and we decided that we would homeschool her instead of sending her to public school. Well, I would say a week before we actually started homeschooling her, a week before school started, my daughter, who was only in kindergarten at that time, or was about to enter kindergarten, came to me and said, "Mommy, I want to go to real school." Yes. So I was like, really sad that she would ask me that, and it made me start second guessing my ability to teach my child. And because of that, I decided to let her go to public school in kindergarten. So kindergarten for her was great. She had an excellent teacher, and this teacher taught her how to read very quickly. My daughter was on like a 2nd grade reading level in kindergarten because of this teacher. And also, unbeknownst to me, it was because of me also, because of the things that we did at home with her. But at this time, I was giving full credit to the public school because I just didn't realize that the things that I was doing was also helping my child. So anyway, fast forward to the 1st grade. My daughter goes into the 1st grade, and she has a teacher that's absolutely horrible, like just horrible. This teacher just didn't communicate. She didn't let me know that my child was struggling in certain areas, and I'm like, how did my daughter go from being on a 2nd grade reading level in kindergarten to dropping down to below where she needed to be in the 1st grade? So I just didn't understand that. And also, there were behavioral issues from other children at the school that just went unchecked by the public school. I mean, I was at this school like almost every day trying to deal with bullying and just other issues with other people's, I'm sorry to say, but badass children. Like, seriously. Like, okay, so at this point, I was like, you know what? I'm really just fed up. And so I decided at that moment that I would allow my daughter to complete the 1st semester of 1st grade. This is how over it I was, y'all. I mean, because we hadn't even gotten to the end of the 1st semester of 1st grade, and I was done. So she had about a month left of the 1st semester, so I decided to allow her to continue going to school for the rest of that semester. And my plan was to take her out at the end of the semester and start her in January, so after the Christmas break. So meanwhile, I did tons and tons and tons of research on, different curriculums. I looked up other YouTube moms. I looked on Instagram. I mean, I looked in educational journals. I was doing everything I could to figure out, how to homeschool my child and, different things like that. And so at this time, my son, he was in PreK at this time. So I decided that he wasn't even going to be going to regular school, period. I was like, you know what, once I take her out, I'm homeschooling both of them. So I started homeschooling him in PreK. I taught him how to read. I taught him how to read in PreK. He was on like at least a 1st grade level when I first taught him how to read. And teaching my son how to read really gave me that boost of confidence that I needed to know that me as a parent without a teaching degree could teach my children. And I feel like that's all I needed to know, and from there it just took off. So, back to my daughter, once I took her out of school, um, the very first year, we just focused on trying to see where she was academically. And I know, as a parent, you might think that you know your child academically, but it's completely different when you are responsible for teaching them everything versus you're getting a report card from the teacher and the teacher is telling you that your child is struggling with this, that, or the third. I'm just going to tell you, they leave a whole lot of stuff out. And when you teach your own child, you'll see that there's a lot of small nuances and different ways your child might learn, and just things that work for them and things that don't. And when you have more than one child, each child is going to be different. So the curriculum that works for my daughter did not work for my son, and vice versa. So if there are any of you out there who are thinking about homeschooling your children, but you feel like you're just not educated enough, or you feel like you just don't fit the bill, I'm here to tell you that you are and you can do it. Like, trust me, you don't have to have an educational degree to be able to teach your children. Now, there's a caveat right there. So it depends on the state that you're in, because we're in the state of Tennessee. So in Tennessee, as a parent to homeschool, at least one of the parents needs to have a high school diploma. That's pretty much all you need. If you have a high school diploma, you could teach your children, K through 12 subjects. But it may be different for certain other states. I think most states, you have to be at least a high school graduate. But because I don't want to give you guys the wrong information, make sure you look up your state laws when it comes to homeschooling. But in the state of Tennessee, all you need is a high school diploma to teach your children. And you would have to do a lot of research just to see what's right for your children, to see how they learn and different things like that. But as far as how to homeschool your children, all I had to do was withdraw my daughter from public school, and I had to send a letter of intent to the Board of Education. And that letter just had her name, her age, the date, and it said that I intended to homeschool her. That was it. That's all I had to do, and I started homeschooling my daughter. So the first year teaching her, everything went pretty smoothly. The second year, smooth. We're in the third year right now, and everything is still going great. I will say that we have switched curriculums like a million times just because I wanted to find something that really worked for her. And so right now we're using this curriculum called Kamali Academy. So Kamali Academy is like an African-centered curriculum that was created by this guy named Dr. Kamori Samara. And it's just a really great curriculum. I mean, he teaches like African math techniques, so like mental math. And like, let me tell you guys, I've never been great in math. So when it came to math, I already had in the back of my mind that when my daughter gets to the higher maths, that I'll bring in a tutor or put her in a co-op or something like that, because I don't want her struggling because I struggle with math, okay? But this guy teaches these math techniques, and these math techniques are so simple. I'm like, where in the world were these techniques when I was in school, okay? So not only that, but he teaches about different, influential black people, y'all. Like, we have to teach our kids black history, and not just in February, but like all year. So, he also puts science in there too. So they learn about, the moon phases, the sun. They learn about weather, like just so many different things. So, so far I like the curriculum, and my daughter loves the African math, and my son does too. And to tell you about my son, he really struggled with two-digit addition, right? And so the very first day I taught him the African math method that I learned from Dr. Kamori Samara, my son learned how to add two-digit numbers in the first day. the first day. So I highly recommend this curriculum. No, this video is not sponsored. I'm just a mom that's trying to help out other moms, okay? We love the curriculum so far. And I know I've probably been babbling a lot today, and I probably left a whole lot of stuff out. So I'll probably be doing another version of this video later on talking about curriculums or something like that. But I just wanted to get this video out there to let you moms know, and dads, because dads homeschool too. My husband helps out a lot in our homeschool. But I just wanted to let you guys know that if you're thinking about homeschooling and if you're really serious about it, just know that you can do it and that you are capable of teaching your own children. Do know your limitations, so know when you need to bring in outside help, but overall, every parent is capable of teaching their own child. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I will try to get to you and answer those questions. And that's all I have for today, so I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.